Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome in. My name is Julie. This is Frontier Tarot. Hope you guys are having a great week. Wow. Okay, so I kept feeling this morning like this kind of like a softer focus for you. Like they're definitely a more gentle energy that wants to permeate your life, and they're asking you to just like soften a little bit, allow your focus to be a little bit more diffuse, like allow things to just kind of come through you in a little bit more of a gentle way. All of that clearing work that we've been doing like week after week, month after month is really starting to pay off. So they want you to just kind of let go of any like a light dusting. I think a lot of the heavy lifting is done, thank God. I mean, this whole like winter has been kind of, a heavier energy. So now that we're kind of, mid Pisces season, wrapping things up, like focus on like, I'm hearing the word soft skills, like your communication, how you're relating to other people, compassion, kindness, awareness. I feel like awareness is a really like key word for you right now. Just being kind of like aware of how you're feeling. Make yourself comfortable, right? Yeah, I mean, the Hangman is here, right? Saying like, pause. Easier said than done. Some people don't like Hangman because they're like, nothing's going on, I need to be productive, and all that, programming and that masculine energy just kind of wants to, like activate recently. And they're saying to turn that around and just look at things from a different perspective, learn how to relax a little bit more, focus on, like I'm hearing the words like being comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? Like not everything is going to feel great all the time, but maybe there's an opportunity for you to kind of just get a little bit more used to it. And that's good, that's part of the healing process, right? We can't always feel great all the time, and just allowing ourselves some grace around the fact that maybe we're not at 100% today. Maybe we're at 80%. Maybe we're at 30%. Maybe we're below, and that's okay. Focusing on your stability, right? This is like a good energy. Both of these energies feel very like focused on yourself, focused on like what you're building, on what you're creating. I mean, the Queen of Pentacles is very nurturing as well as abundant. So it's a really good time for you to focus on what you're building, what you're growing, focusing on work, on building, money, abundance, resources. Nature is like all over this card too. So she's also very like connected to nature. She understands like the rhythm of things, and that feels very good for you just to kind of be very like in your own energy right now. I think that's going to build a lot of strength for you. So learning to pause, reflect, take your time. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles, she's not a fast mover, right? Pentacle energy is very solid. It has a lot of integrity. It moves forward thoughtfully and with purpose. So it's important that you pay attention to what you're building, what you're growing, what you're putting your time into, what you're putting your energy into. It's really good to just be in that space right now. Okay, you're really like building and growing a lot, so we need time to let that sink in. It's kind of like going out and doing all these things and then coming home and being like just relaxed. Just try to relax. Easier said than done, because that Hangman's like, I'm upside down and I'm, but he's cool, like he's just like, it's temporary. The reason Hangman shows up is because we're needing to change our perspective around something. So be mindful of like the story you're telling yourself right now, okay? And I think that's going to help get you into a more, by Aries season, when things are going to light up again and everything's going to be moving forward. Like take this time to relax and be calm. Okay, so the 10 of Cups is here, which is incredible, which is exactly what, like all of that is going to lead to happiness. The 10 of Cups is like ultimate, emotional satisfaction, ultimate fulfillment. You see this family like on a beach and there's a big rainbow and all the cups are filled up. And this is a very spiritual energy too. This is a great time to open up to spirit, open up to your guides and to your angels, and allow that to ground into your life. Pull that into you. It's a great time to meditate. It's a great time to pray. It's a great time to communicate with the unseen world. This is one of the best cards in the deck. So as you learn to focus more on your own abundance, on what makes you, it leads to all of this like wonderful energy of like inclusion and opportunity. And, tens are about completion as well. So it's like, maybe, there's going to be something coming in that's like you finally feel good, maybe after a long period of being kind of like on your own, it's going to open up to more people, because there's people in this card where the Queen of Pentacles, it's just her. So for some of you, it's like a long period of like being like kind of really focused on yourself. Some of you guys are like, I'm sick of myself, like I can relate. Like I get like that too. I'm like, I'm over my own stuff. I can't journal anymore. I can't, meditate anymore. I just want to go out and be in the world again. So that feels really good. I think by the end of the month, like as we get closer to Aries season, like things are going to start to open up a little bit more. If any of you guys get a chance to go to the beach, for those of you who live near water, I think that's a really good idea. Taking a little trip, a little getaway. All of these things really start to really come in now for real. It's like, I feel like the things that you guys are creating are like very authentic. They're very natural, right? There's no force here. I kept feeling that earlier. It's like, don't force anything right now. Just let things progress, okay? Let them progress in a natural way. So this feels really nice. I think some of you guys, if you have a lot of money right now, you want to invest in some opportunities and some travel, some experiences that bring you out into the world and really like light you up. So it's a great time to go from being insulated and isolated to feeling more alive, okay? Feeling more connected, right? Some of you guys, you've just been like kind of stressed, kind of overwhelmed, some sleepless nights with the Nine of Swords. Like this is, part of the process of getting to the 10 is like, you got to go through this kind of dark night of the soul kind of energy, which I know is hard. Yeah. The Tower saying like some of you guys, there was a shakeup, maybe recently, and it's been challenging because it's affecting how you're sleeping. It's affecting how your thinking, your anxiety, all of this stuff maybe like got ramped up. So yeah, this could be someone from the past or something come back around. Something came back around maybe that upset you. I'm getting a little bit more specific, but I kind of feel like doing that today. So this message might not resonate for everyone, but if one of you guys out there, two of you, three, however many, someone from your past came back and shook things up a little bit, I definitely see that, and it caused some stress. It caused some disruption. Or someone that you had a good connection with, like they all of a sudden changed or upset you in some way. Like this could be like a friend that you've had for a long time and you got into a big fight or an argument, something of that nature, and it really threw you off. Like it really confused you, So let that pass, right? Like the Hangman is back again saying, just relax, let it go, pause, like don't feed into this energy. This is really important that we don't feed into it. Okay. So if something occurred that shook you up, like let it just move through you. Let it move past you. That's what it's supposed to do. Focus on being grounded. Focus on like what you're wanting, focus on what you're creating that's outside of all of that. Wow. Yeah. Ace of Cups. Beautiful. So this is just like new beginnings. This is a fresh new start. Okay. And after some hermit energy. So for those of you who've been kind of isolated or kind of withdrawn or in your own world, like the Hermit is one of my favorite cards, quite frankly, because it's a card of inner wisdom. It's a card of going within. And that's critical. If you want to get this, you gotta go through this. Okay? Like you've got to understand what makes you tick. Like he figured that out. Like he's got this light here in his lantern. It's the divine, spark of the divine. So he's understanding that he's a spiritual being having a human experience. Okay? So this is all part of the journey. It's all part of the process. So these shakeups are there to help us. You know, they're there to help us advance and to focus on what you really want. So any of you guys who are, you know, we are a Mercury retrograde, so any past energy feels like, if you can avoid going down that road again, I think that would be a good idea. Like stick with yourself right now. Don't get wrapped up into someone else's thing. Like you're really done a lot of work to build your own foundation, and I don't want anyone to come and like try and take that from you. So even though it might feel a little like a solo journey right now or a little bit like isolated or alone, like that's temporary because we don't want you to go back into a bad habit. We don't want you to go back into something that was really unstable. I mean, the tower is all about instability, right? It's this tower was not built on a strong foundation. I know this card looks terrifying, but it's actually a really positive card of like big change, and it's just that it's usually out of the blue. That's why people don't like the tower. It kind of comes out of nowhere. So this is not predictive. Like, don't worry. Like, don't be like, oh my God, something bad's going to happen to me. No, this is something that probably has already come and gone, you know, hopefully. And if you're in the middle of this, just like let it fall off. Like let things fall off you right now. If like people aren't making you feel good, or if someone's upsetting you, like let them go. You know, I mean, these people are literally jumping out of this tower. So some of you guys want to get out of a situation that makes you stressful. You know, some of you guys are in a connection that you've been in for a really long time, and it's just you want to break out of it, you know, and that's okay. Like they're saying though to like pause before you act, you know, like you gotta kind of get the lesson. If you don't get the lesson, this whole cycle is going to repeat again. So allow yourself to learn what you needed to learn from that situation. Yeah. And then it's going to open you right back up. Like this, like you're going to have more opportunity in the future. The Two of Wands is all about looking forward. You know, he's got the world in his hands. So some of you guys, it's really good to focus on taking a trip. If any of you guys are in a connection or something and it's just upsetting you and it's just doesn't feel stable, leave, you know, go out. Like in this card, like he lives in this castle, but he's been inside this castle the whole time, and now he's finally stepping out onto like the I don't know what you call it, like the balcony, I guess. What's a like in a castle, like I don't know, it's a balcony, it's not a porch, you know, but like a veranda maybe, you know, like step out and look at the future in a new way. You know, the Two of Wands is all about like, I don't know, it's like the world is at your fingertips, and they want you to expand into something new, into a new future. Okay? All right, I'm gonna clean that mess up. I feel like some of you guys are just cleaning up a mess, an emotional mess, probably from some kind of energy from the past that was not really like serving you very well. But again, I get this gentle kind of feeling that's coming through. It's like after all that shakeup, like you're gonna have like a much like softer, more gentle. You want to be with people who are kind of nice to you, kind, thoughtful. Like it's not a good time to be around people who are really harsh or really intense or really mean. You know, mean. There's mean people out there. I know some of them. So like let that go. Maybe for some of you, this is really about letting go of patterns of people that you've been attracting into your life, and kind of energies that you've been from your childhood. You kind of, and I understand this, like you get used to things being kind of chaotic or difficult, or people's emotional state. Like that tower is saying, like, some people are just kind of like walking volcanoes. It's like you never know when they're going to erupt. So for any of you guys who are in a situation where someone's kind of volatile, you know, especially if it's like, that's probably some kind of like holdover from your childhood where you're attuned to that energy of volatility. You don't know when the shoe's going to drop. You don't know, this parent maybe is going to come home. You don't know what kind of mood they're going to be in. So you're kind of a little bit on edge. And so we tend to attract people, that kind of reflect that because we become kind of comfortable with being around people like that. And I feel like this is a huge, huge thing to overcome. So for any of you guys who this message is resonating for, like, trust that, like, the progress you have made around clearing out those sort of patterns is really, really, really good. Like, this is a big thing. This could be like your major life lesson, is overcoming that kind of a challenge. And you're doing an excellent job of it. So keep going and keep recognizing how energies are making you feel, and that's part of the healing process is, you do become a little bit more sensitive, but you can just kind of pick up on people who are kind of have that inner turmoil all the time, and you just don't know what you're going to get. I mean, a lot of times this plays out in work situations. Maybe someone has a boss who's like a little, like, you don't know what kind of mood they're going to be in, if they're going to erupt at any moment. That's a really tough energy to navigate, and they're asking you to move on, to get out of that situation because it's not stable. It's not stable, and you want stability. That Queen of Pentacles is saying you're cultivating a new foundation for yourself that's stable. And this is about really, self-reliance as well. It's like some of you guys are just kind of learning to rely on yourself, on your own instincts, on your own ideas. And it's working, it's building, it's growing. You've gotten stronger, so good for you. I'm going to see what's under here, the mountain. Yeah. So exactly, you've overcome like a big obstacle here. This has been a huge obstacle for you, is to move away from that kind of energy, move away from people who are disruptive like that, move away from energy that's disruptive. It's really good. And I love this card because it's like, I don't know, there's this like figure at the top of this mountain that's like, that you're there, you know what I mean? You're like, I'm kind of feel like, I don't know, I get a little bit of a feeling of a trapped energy because the mountains are about obstacles too. So some of you guys are kind of like mid obstacle with this, and you really might not be able to see your way out of it. So, that's okay. Like, it's part of the journey, but the biggest thing you can do right now is just be aware and honest with yourself about how people are making you feel, how energy is making you feel, situations are making you feel. That's what's going to get you through the mountain, is just understanding that, like, I don't want to take this on the other side of the mountain. You're like going over this thing, and like, you're like, I don't want to bring that energy forward. And so you have to kind of retrain yourself how to be around normal people. Like, I get this, like, I definitely resonate with this journey. And it's like, when people are just nice to you, and you're like, wait a second, you're just a nice person. Like, you don't want anything back from me. You're not going to like flip out on me like 2 days later, right? The internal child is here with the mirror saying, yeah, this is like, very self-reflective, very self-aware. Your inner child is like really taking a big leap right now, really growing up out of that old way of being, where you're just vulnerable to this stuff. It's not your fault. None of that is your fault. You just got used to being around that kind of instability, and you've been attuned to it. So really, doing some inner child work right now would be really good, which does make sense to go back to that soft feeling I was feeling, or that gentle feeling I was feeling earlier. Makes a lot of sense, because it's like we have to go kind of calm and soothe and relax and take care of that like child in us that was like kind of dealing with situations that we weren't really equipped to deal with. I mean, you were a kid, so it was like survival. You just had to deal with it. But that energy, that you kind of packed in there to protect yourself is like trying to come off of you a little bit. And so just let it come off, right? I kept picking up on the 70s too, like that, which makes a lot of sense depending on how old you guys are. Like, I just kind of getting this like cool 70s vibe, like some of you guys like might want to just like, if depending on, again, on how old you are, like maybe music from the 70s. Like, I find music from the 70s really soothing because it was such a happy place for me to have like that kind of music going on and like kind of the household I was raised in. So it was like every time a song came on or music was available, I just loved it so much. It was like so helpful. It was like a beautiful escape for me. And it was like these happy songs and like all of this like really good energy that was available to us. So thank God for music. So some of you guys might want to go back and kind of like I'm getting the word repattern, which is interesting. I've never heard that word repattern. I've heard the concept of reframing, where you can kind of go back and like, if there's a particular situation that you recall, where you were really like, think about like, I don't know, like if you were sitting at a dining room table with your relatives or your family and you were kind of like, some families are like, they'll like poke fun at each other and they'll tell a story about you that's really humiliating. Like that's traumatic. That's trauma, and guys just sort of like this fun, weird thing. And I think sometimes that builds up sometimes in people. So maybe, reframing is when you go back and instead of just sitting there and taking it, you imagine yourself being that kid again and being like, you know what? I don't need to hear that story right now, or that doesn't make me feel very good. Or do you mind like changing the subject or standing up for yourself somehow? Like you can kind of do that in your mind a little bit and through like kind of a meditation. And that helps. But that like the reframing helps you repattern, because once we can kind of do that, the patterns that have been established since those pivotal moments can then kind of quiet down, and they're not like loud anymore. So they're not going to attract the same energy because you've healed a lot of that. This is beautiful. Agape. Yeah, this is like agape love. It's very 70s, very like big love, one love. Like this is like agape love is like love of the world. It's like the big love. It's not like romantic love or just like love for others. It's like, I mean, it is love for others, but it's like love of humanity. So maybe it's a good time to open up to just like loving, just compassion, having love for people that, you don't even know, right? Like you can open up to that. Like that's kind of very 10 of Cups too, right? Like it's very like the love is so big and it's so powerful. It's kind of like eternal love. It's soul love. It's all of these wonderful things. So I think that's going to help you guys a lot. It's just to focus in on something bigger and larger than maybe what you had available to you. Like I do that a lot with like, like if like I had a difficult mother. So I kind of was like, went through this phase in my healing journey where I was like, I'm not going to like, yeah, she was my biological mother, but I have like kind of like spirit mother or divine mother, or looking at energies that are big, like angelic energy that's more mothering, right? So that can be really useful in terms of bypassing any kind of challenging family dynamics by focusing more on the love that's coming through you from other sources that are maybe, unseen or unknown. But that felt really good for me. I remember when I was kind of going through this myself, I was like, well, I've got, a bigger energy than what I just have available, or what I know, what I've been born into. Sorry, Mom, I hate to bring that up all the time, but it's true, right? It's true. And it's also like we all have these dynamics that we're overcoming. And that's part of agape love, is that we can understand, like, no matter where you are, no matter what circumstance you were born into, like we can all kind of relate to each other's pain in some way. So it's a really good time to connect with people in that way. For those of you who are struggling with anything specific, it's a great time to get into like a support group or some kind of healing circle or healing energy with others. I think that would be really nice. But keep pausing. Like I keep hearing that. Just pause, right? Like I'm trying to do right now. It's like slow down. Like, because sometimes like I can go really fast and I get really worked up and excited, and I'm really being challenged by like slow your roll, I mean, shit, when you're a double fire sign, it ain't freaking easy, but it does feel really good. And then you can kind of have a different speed at which to approach things. And I think that's actually going to help you build abundance, kind of counterintuitively. It's like the more you slow down, the more you actually build. I like that because then you become kind of more attractive and you're not like going, pushing. You're more being that feminine energy. So that's where that feminine energy that's been able to heal you from any trauma, any like wounds from the past, that divine feminine energy can flow through you, and that heals you, and that allows you to kind of move forward in a really strong way. Yeah, there's that angel of strength. So you're definitely have been you've been leveling up in terms of your ability to handle shit. I mean, if you think about it, like, I mean, this makes sense to me too. It's like I wasn't able to handle a lot when I was younger. Like, I would just get so upset over every little thing because I just didn't have the skills. I hadn't done all this work yet. So allow yourself to embody the strength that you've achieved, through the work that you've done, through, kind of taming the beast within, and really like be proud of yourself for having overcome so much. And I think a lot of what you've overcome is like the inner, your inner critic, right? Because all of that stuff shows up inside our thoughts and our thinking and how we treat ourselves, how we talk to ourselves. So I feel like your biggest progress has been in your own internal strength and being a little more like proud of what you've done for yourself inside of yourself. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Angel of Balance is here. So this is beautiful. This is like everything's cool. Yeah, I keep feeling this like calm, cool, collected. Everything's in balance. That tower, when you're in balance, the tower, there is no tower. You know what I mean? The tower comes so you can create the balance because you didn't have it before. It was unbalanced. It wasn't a strong foundation. So whatever you've gone through, probably fairly recently that shook you up is now creating this really, really nice balanced approach. So some of you guys might need to balance out things in your life. Maybe we need to find some more moderation in things that we were maybe overdoing before. That's a big one for some of us. Like we were going too far in one direction, and like the tower's like saying like, wait a second, stop. It was like a very clear like no, which was probably a shakeup, in some way. But it happened so that you can kind of come back into yourself and find that harmony, that kind of equilibrium inside of yourself. So all the stress and anxiety can just kind of like, it won't live in you anymore, right? I mean, if you think about anxiety, I'm almost getting this idea that anxiety is like living dormant in us, right? And it like something happens and all of a sudden it just like comes up. And this is like allowing that anxiety to just like leave your energy system and to clear that out. So patience, again, another card of like calm, patience, take it easy, slow down, relax. Like you've had to learn patience. For those of you who are like me, who are like, go. This is not easy. And it could be really frustrating because you're like, I've been patient. I've been doing all the things and nothing's happening. Well, that's patience, like you're not going to learn patience if you're not patient. Like it might take a little bit longer than you thought it was going to take, or things might, not be happening as quickly as you want. The hostility card is like, yeah, some of you guys have got some negative energy around you, and I don't like to really go into that too much on these sessions, but I do feel like it's time to cut out something or someone that's really got you stressed out, and now's the time to like allow that to go away, because someone, there's people like this who are just kind of mean, like this hostility card is like, there's this dude who's just like ready to fight and ready to argue and kind of like, he's just kind of a dick. So any of you guys who are like dealing with like, I feel like this is kind of a male energy. Any of you guys who are dealing with like a really kind of like nasty person who's just very like defensive and like, I don't like this. It's causing you some stress, but you've had to be really patient You've had to be really patient, and they're just saying, like, find the balance, find that kind of even, steady flow that you can navigate this. You're going to find that balance probably after that energy is like in the past. And the envy card is like, ugh, yeah, I don't like this. I'm going to move on. I'm getting out of this deck because it feels like this energy, it's like there's no win with this person. Okay, this is very narcissistic energy. This is someone who just like, there's no like reason to try to reason. There's no reason to reason with this person. Like, I know everyone's like, oh, communicate, open up. Some people, it's like, it's not worth it. They're never going to get it. They're never going to like change their ways. So it's best to just like cut out, just to let that go, because like that's their chosen path, is that they just want to be like that, and that's how they are. That's how they are. And it's important to see that, especially if you're getting involved in new situations and you've sensed that energy. For those of you guys who know what I'm talking about, and someone new comes into your life, or you're dealing with someone, you can feel it now. It's like you don't have to go through, you don't have to start dating another narcissist. You don't have to start getting involved with people who have that energy. You may have been more attracted to that in the past, like kind of subconsciously, not realizing that you were just somehow oddly attracted to that. Now you're like, oh, I can feel it like right away. Like I can see that shit coming. And that's a huge sign of progress. Okay. So a lot of progress is being made. It just might not feel like it. It might feel like, oh my God, like, am I ever going to get out of this? Because a lot of the energy is like patience and the Queen of Pentacles and the Hangman. It's like things might be taking a little bit longer than you hoped, right? And so that can be really frustrating. But ultimately, you're going to come out of it. It's just that you're healing a very deep wound, okay, that needs to kind of be released. The Miracles card is saying to me, like, focus on the future, focus on like that 10 of cups, focus on the energies lightening up. This is a much lighter energy. Like, I'm also seeing some of you guys would be really good to take a trip right now. Get away. If you can go sailing, if you can get on a boat, if you can get out on the water, that really helps a lot, I'm feeling the need to even like kayaking, like kayaking is really nice to be on the water because it's like you're really low and it's like balanced. It really kind of calms me down. So where can you find activities and things that help you find balance? Doing yoga, things of that nature. Like really, really kind of aim for that right now. Okay. Yeah, the Grace card is here. So you're really protected right now. I mean, all that divine energy that we were speaking of earlier, that divine mother, all of that, the Temperance card, the Patience card, like all of these things are really, really like, they're very close to you right now. So even though you might be going through a shakeup, like trust that there's a lot of support around you, and to allow that to calm you, just self-soothing right now, self-care, all of those things. Gentle, gentle, gentle. Don't force anything right now, okay? Like if someone's being antagonistic, like just don't fight back. Like there's no sense in trying to argue with this person. You're just not going to win, and then you're going to get yourself all stressed out. So just kind of look at them, have that like agape love is sort of like loving, your enemy too. Like if someone's upsetting you, like if you can find some forgiveness or some kind of way of looking at them differently by saying, wow, they must be really, really in pain. That's why they say things like hurt people. So like that person who's acting really awful is really in a lot of pain and they might not pretend, they might not see it as that, see it that way, but they are, right? So exactly, pleasure. Focus on your pleasure. Focus on things that feel good. Focus on things that are soothing. Take a lot of baths. Relax. Go sit into a hot tub or hot springs or something where you could just calm your nervous system. That feels really good. Balancing all of that out. Some of you guys are going to maybe get a checkup and you're getting your blood work done and you're seeing if things are kind of off or where things are, and you can find some of that balance, right? If things are kind of a little bit out of whack because of the stress you've been under, like do that, go have a panel done. And so you can see like, okay, I need to, like lower my cholesterol or my blood pressure's hard. Like all of that is trying to come into a nice balance. And that's really important to really continue to feed into these beautiful moments of like self-pleasure. It's a really good time for you to also self-pleasure. Like if you're in a relationship with someone like that nasty guy, and like you're fine on your own, like you don't need that person. I mean, this is someone like, I understand this kind of like the bad boy or whatever. And like, yeah, maybe they're really hot, maybe they're really sexy, but they don't make you feel good and you really don't need them. So some of you guys are like, well, I want to have sex. I want to have a thing. You can do it yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need another person to have an orgasm. Like you like do it yourself. Like figure out what works for you. It's a really good time to really let yourself heal and grow and expand into like, it's gonna feel so much better. I'm telling you guys, when you let go of this thing, I feel like there's been like this monkey on your back a little bit, whether it's a person or a bad habit or just a way of thinking. Like, I mean, we all kind of, fall into bad habits, maybe watching too much, like media, like being too consumed with like conflict and drama, which is easy to do right now, considering what's going on in the world. That could be what's going on too. I mean, shit, look what's happening, or war with Iran. It's terrible. That could be really stressful. It's stressful for me. I can feel all that stuff. For those of you guys who are sensitive and you feel all these things, you want to calm that down. It's out of your control. So maybe don't focus on that. Don't sit there and feed into it, right? Like we have control over how much we engage with that kind of energy. And for those of you guys who are around people, maybe in a work situation where someone's really volatile and you're like, well, I've got to work with them, or I have to live with them, or they're my neighbor, or, we got to find out how to build up your strength so that they can't really bother you anymore. Because a lot of times those people will like attach onto someone who's kind of vulnerable or who kind of runs that pattern of being like submissive to someone who's dominant or someone who's sensitive, like the narcissist empath dynamic. Like I'm definitely picking up on that for some of you guys. So where can we just let things detach and allow ourselves to evolve into kind of a new way of being where we're more protected from that energy? And that's what the healing journey is all about, right? Otherwise, why would you do it, right? Hang on one second. Cards are falling. But that's also a message, right? It's like, let things fall into place right now. Like that feels really good. Like I'd rather have you guys let things fall into place naturally, okay? We don't want you to force anything right now. Just kind of let things roll. Let things just kind of naturally evolve. Yeah, and then there's a breakthrough when it comes to that. So some of you guys are going to have a breakthrough. This feels very Aries season. Aries season is the start of the astrological new year. So there's going to be plenty of opportunity to move forward. Believe me. The beauty card is here, which is interesting, which is shifting gears a little bit. Some of you guys are really focused on your own beauty right now, which is wonderful. I would so much rather you guys focus on looking good and feeling good and, really, I don't know, really like focusing on your feminine beauty. All of that feels really great. Some of you guys are going to have a breakthrough around that, like I'm working on that right now. Like I'm on a juice cleanse. I'm trying to like do all these nice things for myself. I'm like noticing a shift in how I've been doing things. Like I don't want to wear makeup. Like I have a little bit on right now, but it's like, I don't want to wear makeup right now. Like I just kind of want to be natural and try to have my own natural beauty come through, and that takes a lot of self-development and self-awareness to see yourself in that way. Like I have personally tons of like body shaming issues and things like that. And so it's been really challenging for me to see my own beauty. Like my whole life, I've always had that kind of ugly duckling syndrome, and I'm tired of feeling like that, So for me personally, I'm working on breaking through some of those restrictions that I've put on myself. So great time to kind of like doll up, a great time to go shopping, a great time to just really get into some feminine energy. I love all these like kind of pinks and rose colors. Like some of you guys might really want to kind of find that color, that kind of perfect tone for you, that perfect pink they're saying. That's interesting. I'm like, maybe I should find some pink. I'm kind of a pink person, but not like pink, but like nude pink or salmon or like things that are kind of like adjacent, like feminine colors. Okay. Feminine colors feel really good. I'm also getting, some of you guys want to get out into the garden. If for those of you guys who have outdoor space, really getting into the garden, really building like a beautiful flower garden this year or planting things feels so good. Like that feels like a wonderful thing that's pleasurable. I'm definitely getting some of you guys, want to get like a cowboy tub or like one of those tubs that go outside where you can like take a bath like out in nature. Like awesome for that, right? So focusing on outdoor pleasures, like even like finding, I wish I had some private, I've always wanted to have like private outdoor space. Like, oh my God, that's like my dream, because I've always lived in the city and I've never had that. Like a garden or like a backyard or like something of that nature. So some of you guys are shifting your focus into like the indoor outdoor lifestyle. I know for those of you guys who are tuning in from other places and you're not in California, it might still be, cold and winter or whatever, but I really want you to focus on the summer months and what's coming through for that. And if you can't get out and do that, like get fresh flowers, bring all the outdoors in, okay? That feels really, really good. Get yourself some more plants, get yourself some, some greenery. All of this stuff feels really good. Get yourself some beautiful bright flowers, some beautiful pink roses, things of that nature. Anything that feels very soft and feminine, excellent. And this is what, once you're kind of settled into that energy and you realize that you're kind of good, that's when a breakthrough happens. So it's very counterintuitive. Like this is like most people think if they want to get ahead in life, they've got to go. And I think part of the misprogramming we've been getting is that narrative that you have to like force and work hard and, masculine. This is all feminine energy that's wanting to show up. So it's like less is more, focusing more on your ability to attract. Feminine energy is like a magnet. It draws people and experiences and opportunities to her. So where can we just kind of be in the energy of attraction? This is beautiful. Some of you guys are really entering a phase of like your true beauty, like this is a great time to really clean up. There's a lot of companies now that do clean beauty, like I'm starting to focus on that too. It's like, I don't want to wear all that stuff. Not that I wear a lot of makeup to begin with, but like I want everything I have to be really natural and really pure and really organic. And that feels really good as opposed to covering up things that I think don't look good. Like I would rather you guys be natural and just be like that light within you kind of radiating is like so beautiful. Like this is where like these standards of beauty have got to be readdressed because like, you go on Instagram or something and all these people with this makeup, the contour, it's just like, I can't even look at that shit anymore. I would much rather see someone who, maybe is a little more heavy set. Maybe they've got something, but they're natural, like they're lit from within. And I think those are the most beautiful people, whether they're perfectly physically attractive, they have everything right in place. I don't find that very attractive anymore. I think people who are just natural are really attractive. And there's a breakthrough happening with that. Wow. That's kind of cool, huh? So maybe you guys are just like, like aging gracefully. Like, maybe you're like, I don't want to go shoot my face up with fillers and Botox. Like, I tried that once. I got some Botox up here and it was like, I made me sick. Like, I was sick. Like, I threw up. Like, it was bad. Like, I can't put that shit in my body, even if I wanted to. So I really encourage you to find a more natural approach to things when it comes to that. Wow. That feels good, right? and kind of that 70s, like that 70s vibe. It's kind of like that soft filter, that soft focus, like that feels like a really nice aesthetic, is like put everything kind of in a softer focus. Like if you have to be on a call or whatever, like I have a ring light and that's it. But I'm like, there's probably like ways to kind of soften your focus so you look better if that's challenging for you. If you have to be on like Zoom calls all day and you're just noticing all your flaws, like find a way to soften the light to diffuse it a little bit so you feel like more So anyways, that's interesting. I feel like I'm pulling from all these decks, which is another message, because I felt like the first thing this morning I was like, okay, they need to focus. Like there needs to be a focal point, right? And it kept going from like focusing in on something really specific and then also pulling back and seeing the big picture, right? So it feels like maybe a lot of you guys have got a lot of things going on, and that's fine, but now all these things are going to kind of start to come together and they're going to kind of form into like a more of a focal point. Right? So if things have been feeling a little scattered or a little all over the place or a little out of focus, unclear, you're like, I don't know, everything's just kind of like, I can't keep track of things. Like allow that energy through what we're talking about today to come in and help you focus in on the thing that you really want, right? So getting more clear on what you're wanting, what you're going towards, okay? Like keep it very simple. Keep that focus very achievable, but also like broad enough where it keeps you excited. It doesn't have to be super specific. Maybe it's just about like creating more wellness or creating better health or energy or vitality. Maybe it's building your business and getting to like the next level. Maybe it's making improvements on your home or your family. Like finding a focus, even if it's just for the next like 6 months or 3 months, like that will help a lot, because that will help guide you towards the path that you're meant to be on. Wow, that's awesome. What else? I hope you guys are good. I'm going to pull, let's see. Yeah, I'm getting some indecision too. Some of you guys are like, I don't know where to go. It's okay. Like pause, just make sure like why you're doing something before you go do it. Okay. I think that's going to help a lot. And that Hangman is about a change in perspective. Once you have the clarity around what you're doing, then you can take the action. But if you're unclear, then just kind of give yourself some space, give yourself some time, try to relax, try to open up, and let the information that you need to come through. And you can ground all of this really beautiful spiritual support, all of this divine energy, all of this light. You can kind of harness that, and that feels really abundant too. So many of you guys are kind of using your intuitive abilities, you're using your kind of more spiritual side, and you're pulling that into your life in a real way, and you're actually like using it now. You're like, oh yeah, I always kind of had these thoughts or these feelings or these visions or these experiences, and now you're actually like owning that and you're making something of it. You're not just dismissing it. Okay, let me see. This deck wants to say something. I hope you guys are doing good. I'm gonna like pull a card or two from this deck and then let you go, because I feel like, wow, we've already like almost at an hour. Lots going on. I've got like some things happening in April. I have an intermediate tarot training workshop that I'm doing, a weekend workshop. So for those of you guys who have taken my Intro to Tarot course, I'm going to open that up for a weekend workshop. So I'll be sending out an email for that. I'm also doing a really cool event and experience with a friend of mine who's an artist at Ground. It's going to be called The Art of Tarot, where we're going to combine, it's like a 3-hour kind of workshop where we're going to be talking about tarot and we're doing little mini readings for everyone. And I'm going to pull cards, and we're going to pull a major arcana card for each person. And then they're going to get like a beautiful, like kind of black and white template of that card for you to kind of color and decorate and paint and all of that. So you have this great takeaway of the energy that really wants to come through for you right now. So you have something as a visual reference when we get home. And I think that's going to be really fun. That's coming up on April 4th. So for any of you guys who are local, I will be posting about that. So sign up for that. That's going to be a really fun fun experience. It's going to be out in the garden. Talk about gardens at Ground. So if any of you guys who are local to Marin and have not been to Ground in Tiburon, this place is so beautiful, and there's a new owner and she's awesome. And they have this incredible garden with like all this outdoor furniture. It's like a butterfly garden, and we're going to be setting up out there and just going to have a really creative, fun afternoon. So let me know if you guys are interested in that. I'd love for you to join. Yeah. So like, don't sweat it. I'm hearing like, really, like if anything has been kind of aggravating you, like it's gonna pass. Like, just like, don't sweat the small stuff. I'm hearing like, try to just like take like small simple steps towards what you want. Like, again, there's no rush here, there's no pushing. Slow and steady wins the race. Having a calm approach to things. It might aggravate people, because that's the other thing. Like, if you are all of a sudden calm and you're not letting people rattle you anymore, like there might be, they might keep trying to rattle you, and you're like, I'm just not affected by this anymore. That's a huge sign of progress. Like, if you're like, I'm not going to just be reactionary to someone else's mood, that's huge. Like, that's a huge, huge accomplishment. If you've recognizing in yourself when you're not as affected by other people's bullshit. That, like, if you get that alone, like, that's amazing. Yeah, there's that Hermit card again. So all of this inner work that you've done is so special, and you've done such a good job of that now you're going to kind of come out with a new idea. The Ace of Swords tells me there's something new. There's a new idea. Swords are about communication. So you could get a message from someone. You could be sending out a message. There's something new. Ace is all about new. Okay, so this is a new way of thinking, because Ace of Swords are rule like your mind and your thoughts. This is also Swords about clearing out. So any of you guys have been kind of in hermit mode and you've cleared out a lot of stuff, there's going to be a new space for something really beautiful to come in. That feels really good, but I really encourage you guys to focus. Like, this is one thing, this is what we were just talking about, like finding your focus and letting that guide you. Okay. Like, it's going to be new. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be different, but they're just saying, like, just try the new, fresh thing. Okay. One more card. Hold on. Oh my God. Good luck. Ah! Yeah. Okay, there you go. It's the Ten of Cups again. So when cards repeat like that, it's very much a validation that, like, everything is great, like everything is beautiful. This is that amazing, like, happily ever after card. This is like the card of like emotional satisfaction and fulfillment. So after kind of a long period of maybe like this solo journey, you're going to finally come together. This is celebration. This is gatherings. This is joy. This is like, I finally arrived. Some of you guys are really, really graduating from like a very difficult environment or a difficult situation that really rattled you. And I just encourage you to trust in that, like, trust in the happy ending, trust in a positive future, trust in the completion of something that really, took you down and made you go within. That was the whole reason it happened, is because you had to kind of go within and kind of work through some of these issues that maybe have been with you your whole life. So I'm going to leave it at that, you guys. Yeah, Two of Cups. So you've got a lot of beautiful energy coming through. Like, please don't doubt it. Allow yourself to just be soft and calm and feel into that beautiful feminine energy, very gentle. This is good, like soulmate-y energy. Spend time with people that you really care about, that love you, that are nice to you. Animals, pets, friends, neighbors. Just be around nice people right now. That's going to help a lot. All right, you guys, I hope you have a really great week ahead. And I hope these messages resonate. I'm here for you to do readings. Anything you need, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on my website, frontiertarot.com. And I can't wait to see you next week. I'm so proud of you guys. You're doing great. So keep it up, and I'll see you soon.